So recently I released a video called Philips Hue is a massive waste of money, and I totally stand by it. Of course, what happened when I released this thumbnail was the Linus Tech Tips fan club came in on their little white horses and went, "I'll save you, Linus! He stole your thumbnail!" I know I stole his thumbnail, that was the joke. I'm wearing his flipping earrings, you gimp. Anyway, I got absolutely reamed in the comments by Philips Hue owners for various points, and I thought what I would do was give some clarification on those points, and also talk about Lifx's light bulb, solely because they got in touch and said, "Talk about our light bulb, please," and I said, "Yes, okay, I will." The first argument I got in the last video from the Philips Hue crowd was that I was using a Philips Hue Bloom to compare to a Novostella bulb, and they said, "That's not the same product." You're right, it isn't. So what I did was, I went out and bought a Philips Hue bulb. Guess what? This is way worse. By the end of this video, I will crown a smart bulb king once and for all. Spoiler alert, it's not going to be Philips Hue. And you can argue with me in the comments all you like. This video is going to prove it using the following topics. Colour saturation capabilities of each bulb, the brightness of each bulb, which bulb works with or without the internet, which bulbs are most compatible with our smart home, so She That Should Not Be Named and Google Home and all that good stuff, Zigbee versus Wi-Fi and whether that is really a sensible argument. Spoiler alert, it's not. We're going to talk about the apps. We're going to talk about whether they can retain their previous colour when you cut the power. We're going to talk about the price, obviously, and we're going to talk about the other compatible products in the range for each supplier. I'm going to do it quickly, so you don't get bored, I promise. Let's face it, we bought these bulbs because our partners won't let us colour the walls purple. And we have an attention deficit disorder, which means that we get bored of purple after a week. Therefore, these bulbs need to be able to saturate the colour of our walls to the greatest possible degree to satisfy our ADHD. I like purple a lot. And the first test I did was I lined all these bulbs up and I made them all my favourite possible purple colour. I got them matched as closely as I could, and guess what? Philips Hue, bottom of the flipping pile. Lifx is top here. I got the most saturation of colour, and in the middle is the Novostella bulb. So the cheapest of all the bulbs came middle of the pile. Well, what happens if I try red, blue, green? Everything is saturated just fine, but step outside of that and Philips Hue sucks a massive pair of balls. If you're the sort of person that likes to stick coloured bulbs in your ceiling so that you can have a disco, well then you're weird. I only ever stick these things in lamps myself, but if you want to stick them in the ceiling so that you can light the room on a white setting, you need it to be bright. Guess which one comes bottom of the pile? Philips Hue. So, once again, we have exactly the same running order. Philips Hue is bottom, the Novostella bulb, which again is the cheapest of these, is the second brightest, and then finally, the Lifx tops them out at the top. Some of you live on the moon. I know this because you have told me that your internet goes down at least twice a day, and that means that the Novostella bulbs are no good to you because they rely on an internet connection to a server in China to operate. The Philips Hue guys solved that by giving you a hub. And by giving you a hub, I mean charging you through the nose for a hub, because this thing costs a ridiculous amount of money. It sits between your mobile phone and your light bulbs and makes sure that if your internet goes down, it still works. It does not need an internet connection. Lifx solved the problem by simply not sucking. This works simply by connecting via your router and then operating as like a mesh network. So you get this thing connected to your Wi-Fi and then all of the other bulbs connect to this bulb, which is ingenious. It means that when your internet isn't there, your mobile phone can still control this thing through your router, and it can control the other bulbs through this thing. Amazing. All of these bulbs are very capable, but some are more capable than others. I have the memory of a goldfish, so I'm not going to sit here and reel them off, I'm going to sit here looking at them. The next argument I got was from Superman. At least I assume it was Superman, because he said he could actually see, with his naked eye, the refresh rate of an LED bulb. He said he could see it flickering on and off if it was cheap. And that's why he buys Philips Hue, because Philips Hue is a good quality product. So what I thought I'd do is point my camera at all three bulbs and then alter the shutter speed until I could see strobing. Guess which bulb strobes the worst? Superman, your Philips Hue bulb does. I could ramble on about the apps, but they're basically all the same. You can either control a bulb, or control multiple bulbs. Or you can do things like set scenes where, I don't know, you pick sports and then one bulb goes brown and one bulb goes green because a football pitch is that colour. I don't know why people do that. But you can also do things like flickering effects and Halloween effects and all that good stuff. Lifx actually does a really nice flickering effect to emulate a candle, but it's super bright. It's like blindingly bright, which is a major shame because you can't turn the brightness down on that individual effect. I have now, of course, just realised during editing that if you start out with the brightness lower in the first place, the flickering is fine. It might have been better if they'd included it in the effects settings though. That is the only real negative I've found with the Lifx app. It's really easy to navigate. Philips Hue, I've always hated their app, but you can replace it with somebody else's app and do more stuff, so Philips Hue's got that going for it. Both Philips and Lifx have that really cool sunrise mode, which will gradually wake you up by stepping the light up gradually, whereas the Novostella bulb does not have that because it's based on the Toya Smart Life system, and the Smart Life system doesn't have that effect. So if there is a winner here for me, the Lifx app is better. The effects are slightly more varied in my opinion. You'll probably tell me I'm wrong. You'll probably go, I love the Philips Hue app and I can do all of those things. Good for you. Just in case it's not painfully obvious what I just did, I cut power to the bulb, reintroduced the power supply, and it forgot what colour it was. The most expensive bulb out of all of these bulbs doesn't remember what colour it used to be once you cut power. If you're a Philips Hue owner and you're excusing that behaviour, Lifx and Novostella both have bulbs that will remember what colour they used to be. You know, like the most basic functionality of a smart bulb you could possibly imagine. I've ragged on Philips pretty hard throughout this video, so I'm gonna give them a break. Philips' product range is really, really good, and that's why a lot of people buy Philips. The products aren't worth the money you pay for them, but there is a really good range of LED strips and bulbs and lamps and door sensors and motion sensors and all that really cool stuff. The Novostella bulb itself, the company that makes that bulb, doesn't make hardly anything else, but the ecosystem that it lives on is a shared ecosystem that works with about 1 million manufacturers. If you're looking for something that will link you to, I don't know, moon lamps, I have a really cool moon lamp that works with Toya Smart Life, and the same things with door sensors and motion sensors, all of that. The Novostella can't be beat for its product range. Lifx, unfortunately, on this one is bottom of the pile. They have specialised very much in the bulb market and clearly have produced the best bulb of anybody I've ever seen. But their product range is currently quite limited. They do, however, have started to make really, really cool things. They've made this beam product, which I am going to probably wrap around my doorframe. I might even do it before this video airs, and then you might see it for yourself. The beam product looks really exciting. They also do lots and lots of different bulbs, but currently not a great deal else. They do, however, have if this then that, so as long as you have a stable internet connection, you could trigger your bulbs with other people's products. You could even trigger them with Philips Hue products, because Philips Hue has an if this then that presence. That's what if this then that does. It sits in the middle and it allows manufacturers to talk to each other. If you've got a stable internet connection, Lifx is just as varied, but if you wanted everything all under one roof, then Philips Hue would win in that category. However, Novostella probably has them both beat. Price is a difficult thing because people will say, I'd rather spend the extra money and have the quality, or I'd rather spend the extra money and have the peace of mind. People don't necessarily trust the Novostella brand because it has to connect to a Chinese server in order to operate, and people will say, oh, Donald Trump said the Chinese are dangerous, and therefore my bulb must be dangerous. They're not going to watch you through your bulb. We went over this before, you maniac. This thing is of superb quality, so maybe you would prefer this because it's going to saturate your room in more saturated colour. It is more beautiful. Maybe you really like the Hue stuff because you've already bought a load of it and you just want to have a go at me for telling you it's not good enough. I'm not trying to get at you. If anything, I'm trying to help bring the price of this stuff down by being upfront and honest about it. The Philips Hue stuff isn't better than the Novostella bulb in lots of different areas, and it really, really should be. The Lifx bulb costs more money, but it does actually beat the Novostella bulb in every area. And that's what you should be expecting from your Philips product. Should you buy one of these? Like I said, it depends if you want to saturate your room in colour and you want the best of the best. It is expensive by comparison, and here is a table to explain exactly how that operates. I said I would crown a smart bulb king, didn't I? I don't know. That one, I guess. Boo! Hiss! I can hear you, Philips Hue owners. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see some more of this guy, hit that subscribe button. Come and be my bestest friend in the world at one of these places. That's all your social medias, those sorts of things. And if you want to make these videos a possibility like these awesome people here, these are my patrons from Patreon. You can come and be one of those at Patreon, or you can give me a one-off beer at PayPal, and I will love you forever regardless. See you next time. And then all of the Linus Tech Tips kiddies came along and said, what did they say? I'm wearing his flipping earrings in the thumbnail, you doofuses. Doofi? Is the plural of doofus doofy? Get off my neck. Let's face it, we bought these bulbs because our missus... Mrs. What is the plural of Mrs.?